In a game of wits, his enemies, they brought fire.
Yuri-ho would answer with an empire.
All right, welcome back, everyone. So, picking up with Volume 3, the scale of everything is about to explode. What starts out as a simple rivalry of the Academy, well, that's about to spark a conflict with stakes that are way more real and a whole lot more dangerous.
So, our story kicks off with the Academy Togi Tournament. Now, this is a pretty big deal, you know, a celebrated battle of pure strategy. But for Yuri-ho, honestly, it's just another distraction he really doesn't have time for.
And you can see that right away in the first match. The two best players in the dorm, Yuri and his friend Milo, are pitted against each other. But here's the twist. Neither of them actually wants to win. So they start playing this bizarre reverse psychology game where the real objective is to force your opponent into a victory they don't want. And you gotta love Mayalo here. She says this with a dead serious look on her face. And in his backwards contest of trying to lose, she absolutely means it. She plays brilliantly, cornering Yuri in a position where he literally has no other move but to checkmate her. So she wins the battle to lose, and a very annoyed Yuri gets shoved into the tournament.
So, after basically sleepwalking through the early rounds, Yuri finds himself in the finals against his main opponent, Jula Lacrimanis. And this is not just some game anymore. Jula is the heir to a powerful witch family, and it's the same family that has been trying to destroy his business, the Ho Company, from day one. All of a sudden, this tournament is personal.
And this is where we really see the two-front war Yuri is constantly fighting. While he's sitting there, focused on the game board, Jalala is making her move in the real world. In the middle of their final match, she has her people go and burn down the Ho Company's workshops. It's a brutal, direct attack, and she even arranges for the news to be delivered to him mid-game, just to try and break his spirit.
But that was a massive miscalculation on her part. See, Yuri had been planning to just throw the match, let her have the win to keep her family happy. But now, he is filled with this cold, quiet rage. He looks her right in the eye and confronts her. The games are over. Jula got greedy. She wanted to crush his business and humiliate him in the game, and in doing so, she just created a far more dangerous enemy. So he crushes her in the Toji match, just completely dismantles her strategy and leaves her humiliated. But the damage is done. His workshops are gone, reduced to ash. It's a huge blow, but for a mind like Yuri's, even total ruin can be the start of something much bigger.
See, where anyone else would see a devastating setback, Yuri sees an opportunity. Jula's attack is actually the perfect cover for him to launch a plan he's been cooking up for a while now, a massive expansion that's going to put his company completely beyond the reach of his enemies. He's done reacting. Now he's building an empire they can't even touch. His first move? He relocates his entire operation to the coastal town of Suomi. It's a genius move. Why? Well, first, the land is owned by his family, so no more meddling from the witches. And second, and this is the big one, it gives him direct access to the open ocean.
So how does he plan to build an empire from a little coastal town? With technology that no one else in this world even knows is possible, Yuri develops a system for celestial navigation. We're talking precise chronometers, a sextant, and incredibly detailed star charts. In a world where sailing out of sight of land is basically a death sentence, Yuri has just invented the GPS of his time.
And the profits are just staggering. The very first trade voyage brings in a whopping 256,000 ruga. I mean, to put that into perspective, that's enough money to fund a small war. This isn't just a business anymore. It's an economic juggernaut that's about to change everything.
But right as Yuri's commercial empire is literally setting sail, a different sound starts to carry on the wind. The drums of war. And suddenly, the petty games of merchants and witches are about to look very small. Yuri gets a summons he cannot ignore. He's been called to the royal castle by Queen Jacoba herself. Turns out his business savvy and his rapidly growing fortune haven't gone unnoticed. And the queen has some news that's about to yank him out of the world of business and throw him right into the middle of an international crisis. So here's a quick history lesson, because you need this context. There was a fragile 10-year truce that just ended. The last war only stopped because Yuri's own uncle, Gok, sacrificed himself to take out the emperor of the Tyrame Holy Empire. This threw the empire into a decade-long civil war. But now a new emperor is on the throne. He's broke, and he's got a simple plan to fix his money problems: launch a holy crusade and plunder the neighboring Kilhina kingdom. Now this war isn't technically his kingdom's problem, yet. But the queen has a shocking, totally unprecedented plan that's going to drag Yuri right into the eye of the storm.
She orders the creation of a special military observation unit. And get this, their mission is to fly over the battlefields in Kilhina on their King Eagles and just watch, to witness modern warfare up close. And who does she put in charge? Yuri Ho. And his vice captains? Oh, just Princess Carol, the heir to the entire kingdom, and Liao Rube, the heir to another one of the most powerful families. All of a sudden, Yuri isn't just protecting a business. He's responsible for the lives of his kingdom's future leaders.
And you can just feel the crushing weight of that responsibility. I mean, his relationship with Princess Carol is complicated, to say the least, but deep down he feels this overwhelming duty to protect her. This mission, it's not just about strategy anymore, it's intensely personal. The risks are unbelievable, and for Yuri, failure is simply not an option.
And this is so classic Yuri. He refuses to leave a single thing to chance. He knows he can't control the war, but he can control how prepared he is, so he makes this incredibly bold and dangerous choice. He decides to travel to the Kilhina kingdom all by himself, weeks ahead of his unit, to personally scout the terrain and map out the future war zone. He's always playing 3 moves ahead of everyone else.
When he gets to the capital, he finds a whole country just holding its breath. His arrival immediately causes a stir, and he ends up in this tense standoff with an arrogant knight, which, funnily enough, gets him an unexpected dinner invitation with Kilhana's queen. He earns their respect, gets some critical intel, and all the while, he knows, just over that horizon, a massive army is gathering. A storm of steel and fire is coming, and he's just one man, standing against the tide.
And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? When you're facing down an overwhelming invasion, can a single scout, armed with nothing but information and foresight, actually change the fate of a kingdom before the first battle is even fought? I guess we'll have to wait for the next volume to find out.
Plot capsule.